The beginning of the third millennium. Mankind lives in an era of new technologies which have provided people with remarkably comfortable lives. But life isn't supposed to be just comfortable. It's also supposed to be safe. Decades of using radioactive elements on the territory of the former USSR for energy, industry and science have resulted in the accumulation of large quantities of radioactive waste. Modern technology has made it possible for us to significantly reduce the volume of this waste and to create the necessary conditions for our people to live in safety from radiation. At ROSRAO, our most important objective today is to ensure nuclear and radiation safety in Russia. The experience we have amassed over more than 50 years of working with radioactive waste today allows us to operate in practically any field of radioactive waste management. We work together with nuclear power plants, medical centers, industrial facilities, and scientific research institutes and laboratories. Every year, ROSRAO stores and processes more than 1,500 cubic meters of radioactive waste and 30,000 sources of ionizing radiation. We are responsible for the collection, transportation, processing, and storage of radioactive waste. We transport the radioactive waste accumulated by our partners using specialist vehicles. The routes taken by our vehicles are individually planned and agreed. Our vehicles operate under 24-hour monitoring. Each is equipped with a GLONASS tracking system. We regularly monitor routes for radiation. Transportation must be absolutely safe for the surrounding population and for the environment. The cutting-edge technology used in our operations enables us to dispose of spent sealed radionuclide sources in complete safety. Technical operations on radiation sources are performed remotely in radiation-protected chambers equipped with robotic arms. We work with radioactive waste in a variety of aggregate states and with varying levels of radioactivity. Combustible liquid radioactive waste is incinerated, and non-combustible liquid waste undergoes hardening according to its salt content and specific level of radioactivity. The fundamental objective of processing is to reduce the volume of radioactive waste and to convert it to a safe state for long-term storage. Using an incineration facility permits the volume of waste to be reduced by between 20 and 100 times. Gases and aerosols formed during waste incineration are cleaned using a multi-stage filtration process. Ash produced by incineration is collected in metal containers, which are hermetically sealed and sent for further processing. The volume of non-combustible solid radioactive waste is reduced using powerful presses which ensure a reduction of the original volume by 10 times. Waste which cannot be processed undergoes cementation. It is placed into containers, which are then filled with a special hardening solution. This encapsulates the radioactive waste within a concrete case, which itself presents an additional engineered barrier. All of our storage facilities are above-ground installations in which stored waste is kept under constant observation. Frequent radiation checks are carried out on various elements of the environment surrounding these locations and on the surrounding subsoil. One of our most important objectives is human safety, especially for those who come into direct contact with radiation. We clean protective clothing and other personal protective equipment with decontaminating solutions at special laundry facilities. Once it has been cleaned in this way, the clothing undergoes radiometric checks before being dried, ironed, packaged and sent for reuse. ROSRAO is constantly developing and perfecting technologies for monitoring radiation. We have created a special mobile system which can be used to carry out radiation checks on facilities, buildings and plots of land. Our mobile laboratory makes it possible to monitor objects in the surrounding environment for radiation and to carry out a gamma radiation survey of the area. Our mobile decontamination unit ensures compliance with the required standards when working off-site and allows staff to undergo individual dosimetric checks. One of our major areas of work is rehabilitating land and property and decommissioning facilities which present a radiation hazard. ROSRAO operates throughout Russia and beyond. The company today comprises a large network of subsidiaries. This includes subsidiaries which focus on one of our most important tasks, handling spent nuclear fuel and radioactive waste produced in the disposal of nuclear submarines, nuclear service vessels and nuclear-powered surface ships. Our subsidiaries DAL-RAO and SEV-RAO are equipped with facilities for forming single-compartment blocks from the reactors of dismantled nuclear submarines and nuclear service vessels. 3-compartment blocks of reactors formed from the disposal of nuclear submarines are held in the subsidiary's water storage area. These are raised from the water storage area and placed on a dismantling platform, on which they are cleansed of any incrustation. Any waste formed during dismantling is compacted for further processing by other ROSRAO subsidiaries. The clean scrap metal is returned to industrial use within the national economy, and the blocks encasing the nuclear service vessels and nuclear submarine reactors are placed in a specialized open-air facility for long-term storage. This storage method enables the radiation status of the stored objects to be constantly monitored to prevent any non-standard situations from arising. We employ the latest technology and work only with highly qualified staff, realizing the scientific potential of our employees and strictly observing all current regulations. All of our operations are fully licensed. Our work is subject to strict and ongoing monitoring by the national authorities. This makes ROSRAO a guardian both of nuclear and radiation safety and of Russia's future prosperity.